This video is to teach you about utilization. Now, when it comes down to utilization is actually 30% of your credit score. They want to know how much you're using on your credit cards. How much debt do you have out there? So with this client, their utilization is at 38%. I always tell my clients, please keep your utilization at 10%. Now, for this client, 10% is actually the $270. Now, to figure out what your utilization will be for the 10%, all you have to do is just take the zero off the back of it, or whatever digit is back there. Take that digit off and then just count the digits in front of it. And that's where I came up with the $270. So this client needs to make sure that they do not spend more than the $270 so they can be at the 10%. Now, if you want to do even better, you want to be right here in the sweet spot, which I always tell clients to keep around the 5-6%. Now, the 5% for the credit cards being $2,700. I'm sorry, for them to be $2,700, they need to make sure that they don't spend no more than $135 for the credit cards. And remember, this is a low. This is if you're disciplined, you can get a credit card starting off at $5,000, and that's very low also. So be disciplined. And for this client, they wasn't that disciplined because I got them credit cards and they maxed them out, these two. Then I said, okay, well, let me give you a whole bunch of other credit cards, and I got them all of these credit cards. But then they end up using this credit card, which brought the balance up. The balance went up again at 1,031. That's the balance I'm referring to. This is the balance for the card, and this is how much is actually given to the client as a limit. So $446 was spent, but his limit was $450. That's why he's at 99% now. This client also spent $154 out of $200 for his Capital One card. That's not good. We need to get these balances low. Now, say if this client do not have any money to actually get the balance low, what they can do, they can apply for more credit, which I did for them before. So now that they're applying for credit, say they got $1,000 credit card now. So we just want to get the utilization lower. So the client got $1,000 credit card. Now this is what it would look like. Now the $1,000 will get added here to the $2,700. That's the total available credit. So it will actually be 1031 divided by 3,700. That would bring his utilization down to 27%, which is 11% lower than this, which would be great, and it's easy for him to get another credit card to go ahead and lower it, lower his utilization. Now, say if he paid, what if he actually paid $600 on the balance now? So take $600 off for the 1031 minus 600 is 431. That's the 431 now. So 431. Now we want to divide that by the 3,700. So say if he paid off 600, but then he also got $1,000 in credit. His utilization, his utilization will now be at 11%. But don't forget, let's just round it because it is a 6 here, 12%. That's way better than actually having a 38% utilization here for your credit card. Your score will actually shoot up higher. Now, I suggest that he go ahead and pay it down so that he can keep it at that sweet spot. Remember, I told you guys, take the zero off to find out the 10%. Take that zero off. That means he can't spend no more than $270. But if you want to have it at 5%, he cut that in half also. And that's at $135. So let me show you what that look like. So 135 divided by $2,700. There go the 5%. Don't forget, move the decimal over 2 times to get the percentage. And that's, you put the percent sign here, and that's the 5%. That's where he needs to have it at. Now we have it there. I'm pretty sure his score is going to shoot up very high. But remember, you can also apply for new credit, which I have done that for the client before. Apply for new credit. That will bring your utilization down also, because don't forget, they count all of your credit cards. They don't just say, okay, your utilization is 99% altogether. No, they go ahead and add all of the balances up that you have, and then they add up all the credit limits that you have. Now, a trick for my clients, I always tell clients, say if you can't pay on your bill. If you can't pay on your bill, say if he only had the $2,700 now. Let's clear this out. The client only have the $2,700. What the client can do to actually get their scores to go up even more, they can transfer money. Now, when I say transfer money, that just basically means that, oh, they got to pay their phone bill. Now, their phone bill is $150. They also have a cable bill of $150, right? And then their energy bill is $200. Now that's $500. That's $500 that they're going to pay in cash or pay off on, basically off their debit card. Now this is what you can do. Now this is an advanced trick, and then if you want me to go deeper into this video, please leave in the comments, say please more information about going deeper on to how can I transfer money. Now this is good when you're trying to get more credit cards, but they're not allowing you to get more credit cards because you have too many of them maxed out. So for him, he has $500 that he's going to pay out anyway in cash or in a debit card. So what this client can do, they can use this $500 and pay off their credit cards. They can pay $150 here. And then on this credit card, they can pay the $350. Now, if they pay the $500, now their available credit is going to go back up. So now for the 446 now, but he put $350 on it. That means he only have a balance of $96. So his available credit, 450 minus 96. Now he has $354 to do what he wants to do with it. Now, don't forget, he still owes on his energy bill. He still owes on his cable bill. And he can go ahead and pay that with the credit card after it reports to the credit bureau. Now, when it reports to the credit bureau, that's when they will actually say, okay, the balance is $96. Don't think, okay, I'm going to pay it off now. They're going to report it to the credit bureau. That's not how it works. So say, I know Capital One because I had Capital One card. So with the Capital One card, say your balance is due on the 1st. They will not report your balance until the 3rd. So if you pay it off on the 1st, you was to pay the $350 on the 1st, then you have to wait until after the 3rd to spend it. Because after they report, okay, 90s, well, actually it'll be credit one. Just say credit one was due on the 1st, and you spend it after the 3rd. Because on the 3rd, they're going to send in to the credit bureaus, letting them know, hey, the client's credit balance for our account is now $96. They only used $96. They paid off their credit, and that's going to shoot your score up. Now on the 3rd, well, after the 3rd, that's when you can actually spend it. So say if his cable bill was due on the 15th, that's great for him because now that he got his money, now he can actually pay off this card. Pay it off by the 1st. That way he don't get interest. He don't get the interest also. So if he's paying it off by the 1st, so his interest is going to be way lower now. He's not paying them extra money. He's keeping more money in his pocket. But not only that, now they're going to also report the $96. Now, when they report the $96, that's when it's going to go up. But don't forget, his bill is not due until the 15th. So it's after the 3rd, so now he can actually spend that money again. That's when you can actually go ahead and spend that money again. You're only transferring money because now you're going to use your credit card to pay the bill that you were going to pay with your debit card anyway. Credit card is the same thing as a debit card. It swipes the same. You're keying the numbers the same way. So keep that in mind when it comes down to, okay, I need to figure out a way to get these balances down. Okay, and then I want to show you what it would look like if he went ahead and did that. So now his balance is only $531 because he put $500 on his credit cards. So $531 divided by 2,700. His utilization now is at 19.6%, but let's round it up because it's a 6. So now his utilization is at 20%, and that's great. That is really great. That's better than 38%, and it's down here in this sweet spot that they kind of want you at, and it will raise his credit score up. Now, at the same time, after he raises his credit score up, now he can possibly get approved for more credit cards. Credit card companies do not want to see that you have high balances on your cards because they're going to think, oh my gosh, are they desperate? Are they going to pay me back? I don't know what they're going to do. So, this is another trick that you can do. Now, when I was trying to balance my credit cards in the beginning, when I first started building credit, I got so excited. You think, okay, let me spend this, let me spend that. I'll just pay this off, pay that off. Don't forget, they're only going to report it a few days after your bill is due. So, say if you were to pay off your credit card on the say if he was to pay off his credit cards on the 15th, but don't forget his credit card payment is due on the 1st. So since his credit card payment is due on the 1st, if he go ahead and spend all of the money again on the 20th, or even before the 1st, before they're going to report again, if you go ahead and spend all that money again, now it's going to go back down. Because now they're going to show, okay, what's the new balance? So don't think, okay, I paid it off. It was due on the 1st. I paid it off. Good. Okay, now that you paid it off, that's fine. But now you got to go ahead and keep the balance low. Or you can go ahead and pay that bill and keep cycling it back until you actually have enough money to the point where you can keep the money there and you no longer have to use their money anymore. And when I say keep paying the bill, so that means that you have to pay the credit card on the 1st. You're paying it on the 1st. They're going to report on the 3rd for you. But on the 15th, you're going to use the credit card. But then you know, oh, okay, I can pay that money back by the 1st. And they're going to do the same thing all over for me. They're going to have me down at the $96. Now, that's what I mean by that. And every month, you can still do the same thing. You can pay it off by the 1st. They're going to report on the 3rd. But you're going to use it to pay off your energy bill on the 15th. So they're not going to report again until after the 3rd. So you're going to pay it again on the 1st. That's how you can cycle it all over again until you have enough money to the point where you can keep that $350 there. Now you don't have to spend it. And now the next month you can go ahead and pay off the $96 that we had left. That's what you can do to actually keep the utilization low.